you don't get to decide how long anything lasts, right? Whether it's your business, your store, your relationships, your life, but you get to decide how you're going to live it.
You have to find the good in the bad. That's the way of saying, I guess. Like you have to learn how to be happy, and even if it's gonna last, life is one day and that's today. That's another thing that I always say, and my friends hate it because they're telling me that I've been telling this like almost 10 times a day. But it's like I should not regret anything in life. If I wanna do it, I do it. If I regret it, it's on my thing, but I'm not gonna put on anything. But
Mhm,
I will say 2, 3 years ago, it was very different, Sammy. I was like getting affected so hardly from anything in life.
mhm.
I was like, even if Sharon looks at me like this, I look, oh, why did she look at me like this? Like I was thinking, overthinking a lot.
Yeah.
Then I realized that I should accept the people as it is, should not change anyone. And then it start like a way that I start living more happier life for myself.
Hey, Thrivers. Welcome back to Thrive with Sharon podcast. I am Sharon Land, your host of this podcast, as well as a holistic psychotherapist, a best-selling author, a speaker, and an internationally recognized healer. And I today am bringing you someone who's from my local hometown, which I'm so excited because I think that I've brought you people from all parts and corners of the world. And now I actually get to show you someone who I become close with and really feel like he has so much in his young years to share. And he kind of crosses over cultural curiosity, he crosses over entrepreneurial things. And he and I always, when we see each other, we always have such great conversations. And I wanted to bring him to you today so you can hear more about this over seven-figure earning 22-year-old successful entrepreneur. His name is Semih Ozkaya. Semih, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad to be here with you, and I'm so excited.
I know, I'm so excited too.
Like I don't know how to behave, but I think it's gonna be perfect.
It is perfect. You know, it's so funny because when we saw each other and we decided to do the show, I was like, why didn't I think of doing this sooner? Like, I don't even
Yep.
know why we didn't talk about it. But it's probably because you were so busy that we hadn't seen each other in a while.
Yeah, and then we were so busy with the store and then cafe and then selling the cafe. It's like too many stuff was going on, but I think this is perfect timing. Right before 2024, we should start it to like great season, great year.
I know, and I'm so excited for 2024 and to get into what your plans are. But first, I want I want everyone to know. I'm sure that there are a lot of people in the local community that know you already because you are, definitely kind of like the junior mayor of the town, right? Like so many people come to your shop. Everyone, it's like family, it's like coming home every time they walk into your shop. But
Yep.
let's talk about let's talk a little bit about where you're from, how long you've been here for, and like before you actually started Apricot, which is your store.
Sure. I'm 22 years old. I came to United States of America when I was 15, back in like 2016. And I born and raised in Turkey, in Malatya, like eastern side of Turkey, that known with the apricot. That's why our store name is Apricot, if that's the question. And I was a son of a business owner. So my dad was a real huge business owner back in Turkey. And we just decided to move our business here, I guess. And then we just started our business in Morristown. Then we go a little bigger with other state, like other cities in Westfield. We have a coffee shop and it's always keep going on.
Yeah, which is
Uh,
kind of incredible because um when when we first met,
yeah, I
do you
do
remember
remember that
do
day.
you remember that?
Yeah, but I do remember. I can even tell you what you were wearing.
Are you
Like,
kidding?
yep, it was.
Really?
Yeah, I do. My twin sister was here. I don't know if you remember. She was.
I remember meeting your sister, and it was so funny because you're twins, right? And you have your personalities are completely different.
It's completely different.
completely different. And she was just kind of like, I'm here because I have to be, you know, my brothers, whatever. And she obviously has her own career. She was in school and all of that stuff, but like, and your parents were there, and it was just so lovely. And but I remember, I think your sister was only there. I don't think your parents were there the very, very first time that I went there. But I remember you saying to me, you were serving Turkish coffee, and you said, "Do you know if you share a cup of Turkish coffee with someone, then you become friends for
Yeah.
life?" Or
For
for how
40
many
years.
years? How
40 year.
40 years, yeah.
40.
Which would
Yeah.
be life for me. So like
Like, probably with this, my stress is gonna be life for me also. Yeah.
and I just thought, you know what, like your warmth and your kind of forward facing presence is so it was so refreshing. And I just wonder, like, is that something that is just natural to you, or is that something that
I,
you
I think for first time in my life, I'm doing what I really love. I like until now, I was like, oh, I want to be dentist. I want to go cooking classes. I want to be like, I was just like, I was looking to find myself, but with this one, for first 2 months, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna do this and give the keys to my dad, and he's gonna handle everything, and I'm gonna go back to my. I was a dental assistant right before we opened this one. I was like, I'm gonna go back to my job. He's gonna just stay here. And then I realized that how much I love talking with people. And then I realized how much more some people like I just never expected this. I can't describe it. I don't know how to say it, but it's like people like just counted as me like they're one of like their sons in the house. One of them calls me American version of Michael. His son is Mike. His name is Michael, and he's like
yeah,
very emotional. She figured out that I'm also emotional, and then she calls me American Michael. So I know everyone, whoever where they live, where they like how many people there are, like how many kids. I don't know. It's just I feel so welcome here. And I feel like whenever I was in Turkey for a month and then I came back and then my family house was in Clifton, New Jersey.
yeah.
And then when I got there, I was like, something is missing. I'm not home. And then until I came from 287 to here, and then I see exit 35 Morristown, I was like, okay, this is where it is home. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Morristown has different kind of vibe in here, and I feel so welcome and it's different.
Well, I think one of the reasons why you feel so welcome is because what you bring was so needed.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like every store, every like a town needs one of the store. This is what I call it. This needs to be like a Dunkin' Donuts. In every corner there should be one of them because it's like this is what people are having. Amazon is so easy to order. I use Amazon every day in my life, but it's not like this. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's better quality, but when you step into store and you see someone you love, you see someone who you talk with, you share with, like when it's like a family. Like when there was the earthquake back in Turkey, I
Oh,
collected a donation. In a 1 week, we
that.
collected like $36,000, and then whoever was coming to store, they were giving me hugs and they were crying with me. And I asked one of them, I was like, "Can I ask why you donate $1,000 like suddenly to donation?" And then she was like, "I was like, do you even know them?" She's like, "No, I don't need to know them. I'm donating to you."
Yeah,
Because it's your family. I don't care what you do with it, but it's your family. It's your life, your school, like your country that your hometown is in need, so we have to help you. And
yeah.
then it's like every time when something bad happens about me, they're like right next to me. They're the first ones that runs to me, and that's really
Mm.
important for me. I can never forget about those days when that earthquake happened. I do remember a customer came and sit and cried with my mom while she was not able to hear anything from my sister. Like it was terrible days, but they all passed, and now I know who is like a friend and who is like an enemy these days. So I don't know.
Well,
It's really good.
yeah, you know what? But that's actually a really important part of, um, I think, growth in business.
Yep.
right? And I was actually just talking to somebody about this right before we started our call today, but um, that it takes a lot of strength and personal growth to be able to feel the trust in yourself, to be soft and warm and inviting and connecting in a world that is really hard.
Yep. And I do believe that like we have another store in Westfield, New Jersey.
Hmm.
I love there also, but I just don't feel like this. I don't know if this
Yeah.
was because it's first or it's like we have this much nice community. But whenever I go there, I put my guards on. I'm like, I'm a business owner. Don't talk to me. Don't do this. Do this. But whenever I come Morristown, I put my guards down. I'm like, you guys can hit my soft spot. You guys can do anything. Like, I
Yeah.
feel so home here. That's the right word I think that I've been looking for. It's like home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even my daughters came with me for the first time recently,
Yeah.
and they were like, he just seems like such a nice, like it seems like you guys have just such a nice, friendship, and like he seems like such a nice, warm person. And I said, yeah. I mean, and I always say that when you find good people, you find ways to keep them around you,
Yeah,
right?
I think I believe that I like a pull the people that are like very similar to me. Because I don't really believe that I have so much bad people around me, like the ones that pull my energy down. Some of them are have to be, but the others like I feel like good people attract good people. I do not
Mm.
believe that good people attract bad people to their life. But whoever like I get like if I talk to you like this, I will be like, hey Sharon, I can open the store today. Can you please go open the store? I am feeling this much comfortable to call and ask a favor from you. Like I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I think we probably have asked favors of one another at one point or another, right? So like, and it doesn't, and there's no kind of like record keeping, there's no score keeping. It's just kind of, it just is the way that it is. I think that, you're right, where you just kind of, if you show your authentic self, I think that that goes such a long way. And so in my world, in the healing world, we can only really exist well in safe places and spaces.
Yep,
And so I think that that's one of the things that I don't know if you like set your mind to it or if it just naturally came, but like you really do provide a very safe, energetic space for people to come into. But let's talk a little bit more about what your store is, right? So Apricot is, first of all, it's beautiful. So if anyone who's watching this wants to see his store, go to his Instagram page. It's
yep.
stunning, right? But tell us more about it.
So Apricot is we started with the dry fruits and nuts store. Even our logo says dry fruits and nuts, but we are mostly baklava and Turkish delight currently. That's what everyone needed. I even had a huge fight with my father when he decided to put the baklava in the store. I was like, this is not a baklava store. This is only dry fruits and nuts. It's gonna be like a healthy vegan place. And then apparently we decided to just sell a lot of like we have a lot of big sales of baklava and Turkish delight, and then we decided to bring our own stuff from Turkey. Most of the stuff are import from Turkey, and we currently in May it's gonna be 2 years of apricot and Morristown. I can't believe it,
I know, I know.
right? Yep.
Yeah.
And we have the second store in Westfield for 4 or 5 months now.
Hmm.
That's also doing great. I don't know. It's just like very home welcome based. This kind of store is very popular in Grand Bazaar in Istanbul, Turkey.
Oh.
Uh, it's like they sell spices. We don't have spices because America doesn't really have spice culture.
Hmm.
Uh, we have Turkish delight, baklava, coffee, tea, dry fruits, nuts, gift platters, gift trays, gift baskets. It's like a gift store, but at the same time, it's like a store that you have to go right before you watch Netflix to snack
Yeah.
something. That's how
It's
I
true.
call it. Like
Yeah.
usually, like Thursday nights, I'm really free, and then I just do Netflix night for myself. Before I go home, I pack a lot of stuff from here. Like I make my bags and go there. Like it does. This is like it's like a snacking store, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but it's like there's healthy stuff. There are healthy options, but
Yes.
there
Yep.
also are like chocolates and
Yep.
sweet snacks and that kind of stuff, which is nice. Um, but yeah, so like somebody could stop by there before they go to the movies, right? And
Yeah.
make a
We
nice little
have,
snack bag for everybody.
as you know, we have MPAC here, theater, community theater.
Yeah.
At the show, we close like at least 11:30 p.m. at night because people stop by, get us something to eat before they go. Ladies decide to bring, instead of like those small bags, now they bring bigger bags
Yeah.
because you can't bring your food to unpack. But now ladies just put the stuff in their bags because as a rule you cannot look at the ladies' bags. Uh,
Oh.
so they like just hide their snacks in their bag and bring it there these days. I'm like, I'm changing in Morristown's rules. They're gonna kick me out of here one day. Everyone, one of the like customer was like, my dad asked, he was like, my dad doesn't speak English, and he was like, Semi, can you ask her why she doesn't come anymore? And then I asked her, and then she said, all my friends are like abandoned me because I come here a lot because I bring a lot of desserts and they all gain weight because of me. So she, instead of coming every single day, now she comes every 2 weeks. So.
Ah, yeah, of course you're going to notice when when somebody you come every day isn't coming anymore. Oh my gosh. So,
Lot
I
of
mean, so 2 years ago, so you opened up, so you have this beautiful and it's really beautiful. And the way that you allow people to
taste.
select their things and you have someone always helping and it's just a very high touch service. So it's not kind of like a real like, basic snack store. It's a high-end, beautiful aesthetic, right? You have
Yep.
some beautiful like
White
Turkish.
and gold,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, exactly. And
Everything. Even the decors come from Turkey. I went by myself to go get them from Istanbul, everything. That's how we started. So we used to have store like this back in Turkey.
um,
I will say I was like 7, 8 years old. And then when I opened this, I was like, this is not my dad's store. It's like a modern American version of the store back in
yeah,
Turkey. And now everything in our store is like super high end. Everyone, all the customers, and you can even look at the reviews. Everyone says how clean we are.
yeah,
Like
very.
everything is very clean in the store, and white and gold. Everything is high end, nice quality. Like even the nuts, everything is very high quality. So I was
Yeah,
like someone, he's also business owner for years. I don't know how he was successful for that year, but he was like, oh, just buy from this place, it's cheaper. I'm like, no, 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 I'm gonna buy from the most expensive one. I don't care how much I sell it to, but I need to give the best quality because I don't want in this much of luxury store like white and gold everything. I don't want to give bad quality of any product. So I
mm-mm.
don't care if I sell it to expensive price, but it's gonna be help like a high quality.
Yeah, exactly. Because people remember that, right? And especially when it's food and all of
Of
that. And we especially Morristown, for those of you who haven't been there yet, I hope you do come at some point or another. There are a lot of options, right? There's a lot of food options in Morristown, and it's a cultural hub, so there's lots of diversity. Um, so you want to make it memorable, and one of the ways that you can make it memorable is the higher quality for sure. Um, but it's interesting to me. So like I'm doing the math. So when you opened, you were 20.
Yes.
Open the store, you were 20 years old.
I was like 20 for like a week. We opened the store May 15. My birthday was May 7th, so I was like barely 20.
Which is like when I was 20, I don't know. I was not thinking about opening up my own store. Let's just put it that way and like dedicating all of those hours. But so you've really stuck with it and you've grown the business, right? And as you said, you opened up the restaurant next door to that, which has delicious, like authentic food, all homemade. Um, but I'm just wondering, how do you stay grounded? How do
But,
you stay, because it takes a lot out of you
yep.
to run this business.
But it also has a lot of like outcomes. I do not think that it takes like my teenager years or my young adult years, but it's still like bring a lot of stuff. Like my personal goal is to retire at age of 45. I'm not gonna work. That's my personal life goal for myself. But the store might continue, but I'm not gonna be in the store until the age
Yeah.
of 40. Like after 45, I'm done. So that's why I started earlier. And then I was like, I had very, I don't want to say this, but I had very traumatic life back then. Like
Mm,
when I was like little child, my dad had this kind of business, but at one night he lost everything. We woke up, we didn't even have like a furniture in our house and everything
mm,
was gone. That's why I have to work way more harder and then way more stronger to not go back to those days. But to remember those days, we put our store name as Apricot.
yeah.
Whenever I enter the store, that those days like come to my mind right away because Apricot reminds me the where I born, which is Malatya, and Malatya knows with the apricots. And then I was like, we're gonna name it Apricot, even though we don't have so much apricot stuff. We have just one, like two different apricots. Like we have more baklava, we could just name it baklava.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apricot. And then I was like, whenever I see this name, I'm gonna remember the past so I don't forget about it. So I will be more stronger. That's the
Mm.
secret of the name. But I don't know.
So it kind of gives you the determination to keep going because you
Yeah.
remember, but it's not coming from fear. I don't get the sense that like it's coming from a fearful place. It's more like inspiration,
Yeah,
determination.
I don't really get I'm not fearful of anything in this life at this point. I don't know why, but I
I
just
love that.
yeah, because like I close my eyes, like anything happens, for example, like this is my life motto, first of all. For example, if this breaks, if it doesn't affect my for like 5 years in my future, I don't need to be sad over for 5 minutes. That's gone. Like, but if I break this and it comes to my hand and it's like damaged my hand or something, then I will be sad for like more than 5 minutes because it's gonna affect my 5 years in future. But that's like this is what I always think about, and I learned this a year ago. And then
Wow.
since then, when something happens, I'm like, is this gonna affect my next 5 years? No, then I don't need to be sad over more than 5 minutes. Gone. And
Wow.
when I was like little, whenever I get afraid, I'm like, we had worse than this, so we survived that, so I can be surviving this too, and like I forget about it right away. And I don't know, and I don't really. Why would I be? I don't know. I don't feel like I should be afraid of anything at this moment.
I think that's
Think
incredible.
if anything happens, I do it again.
That's right.
I think I
That's-
have power to rebuild everything from scratch.
you do, but your mindset. So that's one of the things that I was so um impressed by, right? Is just talking with you. I knew that I was talking to someone who got it,
Yeah.
right? Because not everybody kind of operates at that wavelength, at that frequency, right?
Yep.
Where there is that strong belief, there's a self belief, but there's also a belief of something, greater than ourselves that it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't, I guess the head talk is like, I'm here to live a good life, right? Anything that I do in this life, it's going to be good. So,
Yep.
and and in my mind, it's like you don't get to decide how long anything lasts, right? Whether it's your business, your store, your relationships, your life, but you get to decide how you're going to live it,
Yep.
right?
You have to find the good in the bad. That's the way of saying, I guess. Like you have to learn how to be happy, and even if it's gonna last, life is one day, and that's today. That's another thing that I always say, and my friends hate it because they're telling me that I've been telling this like almost 10 times a day. But it's like I should not regret anything in life. If I wanna do it, I do it. If I regret it, it's on my thing. But I'm not gonna put on anything. Like, but
Mhm,
I will say 2, 3 years ago, it was very different, Sammy. I was like getting affected so hardly from anything in life.
mhm.
I was like, even if Sharon looks at me like this, I look, oh, why did she look at me like this? Like I was thinking, overthinking a lot.
Yeah.
And I realized that I should accept the people as it is, should not change anyone. And then it start like a way that I start living more happier life for myself. Because I live for myself, I die for myself.
And honestly, that is such a healthy
Thank you.
that so I was going to ask you what the keys were to your health and your success, but it sounds like
I just told you.
you just told me, right? Like but I think it's important for the audience to understand because people who are in our community and welcome to the community now you're part of it is that everyone has this pull. Everyone has this ache inside of them on some level, right? Where it's drawing them towards something. And we all go towards something at some point. However, it does, some of us don't know how to sustain it.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody can, shoot a shot, hit, get a 3-pointer once in their life, right? But to be able to sustain it is a whole different level. So you mentioned your friends. So, how important are friendships to you? What other things do you have in your life other than business that you,
Uh,
you do to, because you're a 22-year-old man, right? Like, so like there's life, the world is your oyster right now in so many different ways. So
I
how
love
do
my
you stay grounded and balanced in that?
so I love my social life. Every weekend we out with my friends. But everyone is friends that like all the friends that I've been telling you are not friends. So there's like friend, like really like brother, sister. There's like just friends.
Yep.
And but I don't know. I do love my social life. I was not living my social life until this year because I was like, the business needs to be successful. If there's no business, there's no social life, there is no money, there's no car, there's no house, there's no people around me. Then when
Mm.
I then 100% sure I was like, nothing will happen to me with this business, then I start living my own social life. I don't have girlfriend currently. I'm a single.
Oh, well,
So I don't know
ladies,
the life.
local ladies, you know.
I'm not saying because of that. I'm just saying that so I don't know the life with like a relationship and the work life together for now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That definitely causes stresses for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
But good
And
stresses too, growth opportunities. But yeah, and family.
yep, family. I'm always with the family. My parents, as I said, doesn't speak English, so I help them with their all doctor appointments, all their travel requirements, and everything. I like handle their paperwork also. It's just not Semih Ozkaya. I have my mom, my dad, my sister. I'm just same body, but the mindset is keep changing around me. Sometimes, like I have two phones. This is my personal phone, and this is the business phone. As you can see, it's baklava.
Yeah.
And whenever I answer this, I'm like, "Hey, this is Mustafa Ozkaya, which is my father." Whenever I answer this is Sammy. How can I help you? It's like two different personalities, but I think I don't think if I can. I don't know. This like business keeps me alone. I went to Turkey for 10 days, like 2 months ago, and I was like. So bored. I was with my sister and her family, but it was very fun. But I was like every morning I was waking up, I was like, what am I gonna do now? Am I gonna go to store? I'm like, I think I love this busy life. I love like other day I was here at 11:25, store was closed. I was just doing paperwork from the computer. I just didn't want to go home. And this keeps me on whole like this keeps me more strong and powerful.
Mm.
This is what I believe too, because like every now I just get two different phones like a week ago, and one of them is better than other one. The my personal one is the bad one. The better one is the store one. All my friends goes like, "Are you crazy? Why didn't you take the best one to yourself? Why you could just give like other one is not really bad, but you can just give that to store." I was like, "No, this is for the store because if there's no store, there's no phone, there's no car, there's no friendship, there's no relationship, there's not even family." I know about this. It's not, I'm not talking about small family, but we had days when our family just abandoned us when we lost everything back in Turkey. but now they all coming back.
Of course, yeah, of
Of course.
course. Hmm.
Yeah.
But that's a very mature mindset. And but it also is a long-term mindset. And from spiritual law, right? The laws of abundance is that
Yeah.
when you create an abundant container, right? So what you're doing by your phone, for instance, or the places that you are looking to place your stores, right? They're abundant containers, right? Where lots of beautiful abundance can come through. And abundance isn't just money. Abundance are relationships, right? Abundance is um, connections. Abundance is future opportunities for collaboration. But this is abundance to me, right? Like this is so you can't put a price tag on this type of thing. So when you create the container to be able to allow things to move through, then it allows you to get bigger and grow more and whatever. But a lot of people, especially when they're in their like young 20s, they don't have that kind of a mindset. You know that, right?
Yep,
Where
yep,
because you were
definitely.
just
Yeah, I think I don't know. This is what I say. Like I think because of the people things that I learned back in Turkey, like losing business and everything, that made me like I had to grow like 10 years, no matter even though I was like very younger age, I was like fourth grade, but I was acting like I was in high school because I had to do it for my parents. And my
mm-hmm,
dad was gone. He was here to start a live life for us.
mm-hmm,
So I don't think it was really my choice. I just had to be more bigger, like grow up. I had to be more mature so I can think bigger and then do bigger stuff.
mm-hmm,
And I kind of skipped that, like how can I say, like middle school and high school, like those times, like playing on Xbox and PlayStations and like having girlfriends and going out to bars. I don't know. I just feel like I skipped those. Maybe it will come in the future.
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
just for now, I don't know. I People are like, isn't this too hard? I you don't you get bored of it? I'm like, I kind of like what I do now. I don't know if it's because I have to or I do really love it, but we're gonna find it out in the future. Life is gonna bring everything, so we're just gonna wait and see.
I love that. Life is going to bring everything.
Yeah,
That's pretty powerful.
it's like a treadmill. We're just running and it's
Yeah.
coming to us.
That's right. That's right. So tell me, so you started the one store in Morristown, then you opened up the restaurant, then you, as an entrepreneur does, he builds the business and then he sells it. And so you sold it, right?
Yeah,
But you still very much are part of that restaurant, right? Because you're kind of like,
family friends, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So they're the family friends, and they're actually I didn't really sell it yet,
Okay.
but they're like the potential buyers. We are like almost done with all the paperwork.
Yeah, in the process of taking it over, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But they're of course I'm gonna sell it to them, and it's such a nice people, and it's just like they find me, and then I was like, if you give me this number, I will sell it to you, and then they were like, okay, deal, and then that like, and then I was like, first I think, and 2 days ago it was the like anniversary of the baklava cafe. And then I got so emotional, and then at the end I was like, I did it. I At least I didn't need to just put the keys down and then lose the business.
that's
I
right.
made, I made a good money out of it while I was working with it, and then I sold at a good price, and then I'm out as a like successful, and everyone still talks about how nice it's designed and everything.
Hmm.
Even now, I'm like, I made it, even though they're the owners, but I made it. So
You did. Yeah, it will always
that's
be until they gut it and renovate it, it will always
yeah,
be very much like what your vision was. And yeah, and we're also talking about a time where financially we were still in an economic crisis when you were
yeah,
really planning and doing all of these things. So
yep,
that also was a lot of risk taking
yep.
on your part.
Opening that part was risk taking. And it's so funny when my landlord was like, "Hey, Sammy, this place is gonna come to empty." do you want it? I was like, yeah. Don't put any sign. I want to get that place. I got it, and then we put the keys in to go see the store with my dad. I'm like, we got this place, but what are we gonna do? We don't even have a plan. We didn't even My dad is like, we do supermarket. I'm like, this place is too small for us. My mom is like, we do restaurant. I'm like, you can't do restaurant here. There's no commercial kitchen. And then I was like, let's make it like extended version of Apricot. Then we put like whatever we sell, like a baklava and coffee. We just serve it on that side instead of making new different business. And my sister goes like, let's make a gift store. I'm like, no, 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 that will be competitor to my own store. They're gonna fight with each other. So, and then that's how we started it. Even when we started, I was like, I didn't get any loan. I was like, not in really good conditions as economically. And then I was like, let's just open and see what's gonna happen. And then I use that credit card, then I use that credit card, and I get loan from uncle, like a big uncle.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's start it and see what's gonna happen. And then first 2, 3 Saturdays, we were like all booked out. Like we never had a chance to take other like any new customers. We were always sold out, reservation
Amazing.
sold out. Yeah,
Yeah, that is so amazing. And and so when we were dining there, I said this is a sign of a good restaurant because people who are of the culture are going to the restaurant,
yeah,
right? Because sometimes it's
yeah.
it's like not as authentic, right? And you can go there and you never see anyone who's like of the culture going to that restaurant. But like we were just it was so cool. It was so wonderful to just and it was just a local people who just were, they were doing business deals and they're doing like, going and having coffee and and obviously baklava and all of the things, right? And delicious breakfast and lunch and it it has that energy about it where it's just all about, coming together, another place to come together where like people who would come to your store, they would talk for a little bit, but there's no reason to stay, right? But there's like a reason to stay, and then you
Uh,
get to know people longer and deeper and all of that stuff. So it was so wonderful. And then you opened up the store in Westfield, which I understand is doing super well. But what are your plans for the future? Not that you need to do anything differently, right? Or anymore, but I know you.
Yeah, I want to grow Apricot more. That was another reason why we decided to sell our coffee shop. I was like, that's too much. Like, I don't want to do two different, I don't want to walk on the two different roads. I just want to get one.
Mm-hmm.
I fail or I go accept everything and I go. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was like we should just make Apricot bigger and bigger so everyone can hear it. And then we're looking more places actually. Yesterday was my day off after 2 months, but I went to New York City to look for a store, Hoboken, Montclair, Summit. Where else I go? Jersey City. I was like all around the place yesterday to look for another
Wow.
store. Yeah, but I'm looking, and we got one location almost settled down. We just need to sign the contract and then start the construction, but I know where to get price.
That's awesome. That's
But that's the
amazing.
plan.
I know actually, because I remember not too long ago, we bumped into each other and you were like, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this business idea. And like, you wrote the whole thing. I was
Yeah,
like, how,
where is it? I
who
should
does
have.
this? That is a true entrepreneur.
Yeah,
This
like
is
I
what we do.
love doing startups. I have no idea, but I like get on my computer. I have my laptop just for the startups. This is my desktop is for the office stuff, but my laptop is like using ChatGPT and all those stuff to write down more like a business startups. And
Yeah.
actually, the plan that I told you, but these days I don't know what's happening. Whatever I say from my mouth, it comes to my like I just comes to me right away. But this
Mhm.
past one, no idea how or why. But with this one, remember I showed it to you, and then I was like, maybe I should open it. And then there's one guy comes and he's like, oh, I have a business in LA. Let's make this in LA together. I will finance you with all the money. I'm like, bro, I want you to come to me, but not this fast. I start getting scared of myself.
Well, manifestation is all
Yeah,
about saying yes, right? So sometimes you just have to grab it and go. And then other times you decide like, thank you, this is wonderful. However, it may not be the right time. And either way is perfectly fine. It's just about, it's not all about the money, like I said, but I could see you in LA.
right?
I
You
could
want,
totally see you in LA. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. I would see and and I go to LA a lot. So like then I could still see you, right?
yeah.
Then I would still come to see you.
I
So
can sell that idea to him instead of making it, but I will still be
yeah,
the partner, so I will have reason to go LA.
perfect. I love
Yep,
it. I love
yep.
it. So so we're wrapping things up a little bit, but I have another question for you because I think that, so many people are watching this and they all have this kind of pull. They want to do something, right? And I think that one of the greatest gifts that we can give to others is to not just have them see all of the shiny objects, all of the success, right? But also to learn from what our mistakes were, right? So, like, is there anything that you feel is valuable to
And I,
share with people who want to, you know, be in business for themselves or, even if it's a side business, what would you say your greatest lessons were or that you think it's important for other people to know?
like, you think, are you asking me what kind of mistakes I did in life that I should not let any other people to do it, or like,
That's a very literal translation. Whatever you're comfortable with as far as like business or whatever you want to share, if you want to share about
I
personal
think
too. Yeah.
accepting the truth when we opened the Apricot for first time. For first 3 months, I was like just working, like not giving any communication with the customers. And then
Mm.
and then hugs are very important for me. It's in my life. So as you know, I give you a hug right away. I'm like,
Yeah,
feel like I can know someone by giving them hug. I feel like something is like passing through each other, but I
of
get so
course.
much like energy and like how can I say it? I feel more. I feel like if I hug you, you can do anything bad to me. You know that kind of thing. It's like you will be like, hey, let me not do anything bad to Semih because he gave me hugs and stuff. So like I feel like in that piece, but yeah, that I didn't had any communication with any of the customers for 3 months. I was
Mhm.
like not I'm terrible with the names, but I was like not learning anyone's name, what they do. But now I'm like, what do you do for a living? What's your name? Where do you live? How many kids you have? I'm like
Yeah.
asking these questions. And yeah, number one thing is like we should talk more with the customers, more communication. That's what like really holds up together. And I didn't do that for first 3 months. I regret that. And then with the like second thing, I don't really rely on anyone in the family or anyone as a friend. It's just all me. If I do good, it's Semi. If I do bad, it's Semi. No matter what happens, I don't want
Mhm.
to be like, oh, like he did all this stuff because of his father, or he did all this stuff because of his mom, or his like,
Mhm.
oh, his uncle gave him 100K. That's why he started a business. I don't want to hear all of this stuff. That's why I started small. Like instead of asking money from my uncle, I went to bank and get a loan and I paid the interest. I was like,
Mm.
even if anyone gonna help me, that should be like bank. I don't want to ask. I don't want them the people to be like, oh, we told him to do this. We helped him when I accomplished stuff, or when I fail. I don't want them to. Yeah, I knew that he was going to fail, but I had to give him money. So that's another thing that I think people should not rely on anyone when they do start their own business. They should not be like jump to the retail shop like by themselves. They can start this business at home. Any business they can start at home as a side,
Mm.
like small by small with the more secure steps. Then if you fail, you will just fail a step back. But if you
Mm.
jump from like zero with like Sharon's money to go open a retail shop, if you're gonna fail, you're gonna drop like from super high to the lowest point as you can.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, like I think I'm saying correct way, but just step by step. That's how just like how kids grow, like from first they don't know how to do anything, they start talking, they start eating, they start walking, all
Yeah.
those. then if they fell back, nothing really happens. They just fall and stand up. But if they just burn and start walking next day, then they're gonna hurt each other way more. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what else did I want to tell people. Uh, any ideas you can give me
No,
some
I
ideas?
mean, well, I
Help
mean,
me out,
just,
I'm dying
I feel
here.
like I do know you well enough but I agree with what you're saying though, because I think that um, while your family was very much supportive of you, they were very much present with you. It wasn't like you were like, I'm doing this alone and I don't want any help. You channeled how and where you received the help so that there was like a safe energetic exchange between all of you, because
Yeah,
how I'm reading what you're saying is that you respect and honor each person that you have in your life, and you didn't want to ever put either one of you in a position where that could
affect our relationship.
affect it or affect your business, right?
Yeah,
We also, and not maybe your family, I'm not saying it's your family, but like sometimes when you ask for help with someone financially, then you're also getting it with a lot of rules and conditions, right? Well, then I
yeah.
want you to do it this way. I want right? And
When I
that's
say family, I'm not talking about my mom, my dad, my sister. I'm talking about like uncles, aunts, more like bigger family. But
yeah,
as you said, when people gives money, they think that they can control you,
yeah.
and I don't want that. I will like I will have just one store because I did have too many offers from some other people. They're like, hey, let me give you this much money, open me a store. I'm like, no, 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 this is my business. I will go slow by slow instead of opening 10 stores at once. I will just go by myself, more secure, more safely, and then I don't need anyone to like control me. I don't need anyone's name or their money to be like called. Like I don't want people to call me because of their names or because of their money. I want them to know me because of me as a person.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's really important. Do it
Yeah.
for yourself. Don't do with people. Don't have like don't I can say this like don't rely on someone else's money or don't rely on someone else's name because they're like they could be bad or good, but if you do it by yourself, go work two jobs at the same time. I did. I like back then I was working as a dental assistant. Then I went to do DoorDash and Uber Eats and all those stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was working in my uncle's store on the weekend. It was like three different jobs.
Hmm.
And I could just be like, hey, this person, can you give me this much money so I open store? Instead of doing that, I just decide to save my own money. So
Hmm.
start with my own. If I failed it was my money gone.
Yeah. Well, and I also think too, like when you're doing it, you know yourself best, right?
Yeah.
So everyone, whoever's showing up for entrepreneurship, kind of one of the things that you have to do first is you have to know yourself,
Yep.
right? And then you know where calculated risks can really come into play, right? So your risks were with the amount of effort you were going to have to take in order to be able to make this happen, right? So like, and you knew you had the capacity to be able to do that. You knew that it wasn't going to like completely kill you, right? Like you, because also the store was feeding you energy too,
Yeah.
right? The
Yep.
success and all of that stuff.
Yep.
So so yeah, like knowing yourself and then taking those next right steps, whatever that next right step is, could be in measurement like a big step for one person and a small step for another, just but you do it in a way where it's you, right?
Yep.
And you know what you're capable of, you know what you can handle. And it's not about staying small to stay safe, it's about staying safe to be big,
Yep.
in my opinion, right? And that's how I'm reading what you're saying. And I also love the fact that it was inauthentic for you to not care about people
Hmm.
in the beginning, right? You almost were like, kind of like, how do I, like I'm doing this thing and like, how should I act and how should I be? And I got a business or whatever, right? And it was probably so uncomfortable for you to not know people, to not hug people. We didn't have a problem. Like I just walked in, we hugged, like it was, and that was like when you first opened, right? Like you had just first opened. But like, I think that certain people, they don't know what to do. And, but for you, your authentic self is very embracing, right? So like it was probably very uncomfortable for you to not originally be like that, right? Where you weren't connecting with people. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why you love what you do so much, because you are a connector. You love to connect with people. You love to talk to people. You love to make them feel special, right? And you're given an opportunity every day to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
And it's so good. And I think
Like
that,
this
like,
place like makes my day. Even if we have very slow day, it still makes my day.
so
Because
good.
like seeing someone that I know, like my all my lawyer, realtor, like my accountant, they're all my friends from Morristown. They're all local people. And then we were like looking for a location in another town with my lawyer, with my realtor. And then she was like, Sammy, if you don't have money, if you want, I don't need my commission. I can give you my commission. I was like, no, thank you. But saying that, it's like, it makes my day. It's like, how much do you know me to give me a, like, because you work for the commission.
That's
This is your
right.
business and that's your money. That's your kids' money, But like,
That's right.
just to know me for 1.5 year and you offering me that big of a commission that I can just build my store and give you back later. That's
Mm,
so like that's I was like when I heard that first time I was like I think I'm doing something really good now. Like
yeah.
I felt very successful. I don't
Mhm.
like to call myself, oh, I did it or I accomplished. I'm strong. Like, but I after that I was like, yes, I did it for like I was like, yes, I know I'm doing this right. I
That's,
can
yeah.
continue doing what I'm doing. And
Hmm.
I felt like very happy.
Yeah, where people trust you and they care about you as much as you trust them and care about them. That's so good. It's so beautiful. So listen, people are now going to want to know where they can find you. So how can they connect with you?
They can connect us in 166 South Street, Morristown, or 31 East Broad Street, Westfield, New Jersey.
Mhm.
Or they can find us on Instagram. Our Instagram for the Morristown is Apricot Morristown, or for the Westfield is Apricot Westfield. Or my name is Semih Ozkaya. They can find us.
Yeah.
Like my business phone number is 973-905-0637, and we have a special gift for everyone. So who
Oh,
comes with Sharon Land coupon code. They get 10% from us for Sharon.
ah,
Uh, yep. So
that's
it's
amazing. That's so generous.
holidays just passed, but still, holidays are always coming out. So why not?
That's well, and the tummy's always rumbling, right? So like we need to have good healthy snacks.
Sure.
And so for people who aren't local though, do you ship?
We do ship, but our website is not up. So we're trying to figure out some stuff because we have two stores. We don't know how the payments go. We have some technical issues,
Okay.
but as I said, they can call me from 973-905-0637. They can
Okay.
order from phone, whichever they're close to. I can send them. I can ship them anything they like.
So people can see what you have, they can visit your social media and get a good
Our
idea
social
of what it
media
is
is
that you have.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have really nice social media page going on these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, exactly. And is there's
And
so cute. I love your social
Yep.
media. It's so good.
And we can like they can even FaceTime me. I can show them everything.
Exactly. I know. Yeah. Or if
Yeah.
I'm ever there, they can FaceTime me and I can.
Maybe you should start working with us, Sharon.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got my hands full, but we'll figure, you know what? We're going to figure something out. Entrepreneurs always figure something out, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, good people need to help and work with good people for sure. But it's Semi, I'm so glad that we decided to do this today. I'm so excited for the Thrive with Sharon community to know you. You're just such a you're just such a good person and you bring so much to the community, you bring so much to the world. And I want people to get from you the inspiration to do what's on their heart, but also do it with integrity. And you just have such honor and integrity and warmth about you that is it's so unique to you.
Yeah,
And
anyone, if they really need help with any kind of startup, they can just call DM me on my Instagram. My Instagram is SMHOZKYA. So I can really help with anything actually. It's like I love,
Yeah.
as I said, I love startups, and if anyone struggles in anything, they need ideas, plans. Don't worry, I'm not gonna steal your business plans. But I can definitely help with anything. Anyone in my age want to start a business, just hit me up. I can help you with anything.
That's so great. Well, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for coming
Thank
today. I'm so
thank you.
excited for people to try all of the delicious stuff that you have. So please definitely take him up on this Sharon Land coupon code.
Yep.
And I guess if they just go in, they just mention my name, or
Help
if
you
they
register.
call you or whatever, they just have to. And yeah, and thank you so much. Thank you everybody for who's watching today. I hope you have a smile bubbling from the inside like I do. It's always so wonderful to be in Semih's presence, and I hope that you'd enjoy today's episode.
I
Um,
love.
if you have any questions, please write in the comments. We love engagement. There's no bad comment, there's no bad question. And so we'll be sure, Semih's really responsive and I'm very responsive. So please we'll be sure to respond to whatever questions you have. And until the next time, stay in peace and love and keep doing your best every day in every way. We keep getting better and better and better. So thanks, Semih.
Thank you, Sharon.